Welcome folks, welcome to a brand new Let's Play. My name's Verm and this is Recon Breakpoint, the latest instalment in the long-running Tom Clancy backed franchise. It's a tactical squad shooter set in an open world. It's got an online only component. It is generally not seen to be as good as the others in the series, but I've played, as you can see on screen, about 13 hours. I think it's quite fun. I'm going to go into this and just play it as I would ordinarily. It's the only real way I can think of recording this, rather than structuring each episode as we're going to go and do this, we're going to go and do that. So we're going to start a fresh profile. I apologise in advance for any clicking you can hear in the background and reverb. I don't have a noise cancelling microphone, but I don't think it's that important at the moment. Let's go. Hopefully it doesn't crash when we make a new character.
The Ghost experience lets you choose between two different ways to play the PvE version of Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Regular, the way the game was released, and immersive.
And for some reason that's coming through my television sound rather than through my headphones, which is strange. But as you can see, there's two different ways of playing this game. I will check after this cutscene is finished to see if it's coming through my headphones or not. But yeah, so basically originally you had a very gear-based, level-gated system, whereas now you've got an option to play it more like Ghost Recon Wildlands. I would rather play it the original way though. But this is one thing Ubisoft did do. They went back and completely tweaked the game so you could make your own gameplay no matter what you wanted to do. I'm just going to tap my headphones off for a minute and see if... No, it was only that cutscene that was coming through my telly. I don't know why that is. So you've got regular experience, which gives you gear level and rarity. As you can see, it's very much a level-based shooter. And the immersive experience, which is the Wildlands-style way of playing. We're actually going to go for the regular, but we are going to tweak it in a moment. As you can see, you have all these different options. Is there a way of tweaking it more directly? Yet, no there isn't. So we're going to go gear level on. You can actually tweak it a lot more. The parameters rather a lot more intensely. Oh, you can do it through this. So yeah, difficulty, enemies, we're going extreme, which is the hardest. As you can see, damage, deadly, detection speed maximised. The game's supposed to be a difficult tactical shooter. I want to play it like this. I'll die a lot. There'll be a lot of frustration, but I don't care. Difficulty, tactical. So this is basically the amount of syringes you can have, how your health regenerates, how often you get injured, which requires bandage usage rather than just health stim. We're going elite, but we're also going to tweak it a little bit more. So we're going to have few bandages, which lowers it to 3. We're going to have 2 main weapon slots because I like to have a rifle as well as a automatic weapon. We don't want that. Always, extreme, none. Yes, that's very important for how complex it is. If you have it set to darkest night, it is very, very dark. We're also going to customise the interface. We're going to go light, I believe. But then we're going to customise that further. So, subtitles, we'll have that dynamic. Dynamic. Hints, never. Crosshair, yes. Hit marker, yes. Stamina, yes. Weapons and item display, dynamic. Tool information, no. Class technique, dynamic. Mission reminder, dynamic. That's fine. Detection gauge, warning message, 3D markers for loot. We want the loot notification. It just tells you what you can pick up and where the chests are. That's important for me, I think. That looks fine to me. Yeah, that's how we're going to have that. And then socials and bivouacs, which is like where you can buy weaponry and stuff. Oh, let's just put it on restricted, where you can only shop at it during at like the main one, which is the era one, which is like your central hub. And let's get started, folks. Hopefully it doesn't crash when creating a character, which it did on my first playthrough. That would be rather annoying. But if that's the case, we'll just go with the default. I apologise for any noise you can hear in the background, folks.
Welcome to Aurora, the incubator of World 2.0. My name's Jay Skell, and we've been expecting you. You've been invited here to innovate, to invent, and to create. But we're also asking you to do the most important thing with your lives that you can do. Here, away from the rest of the world, we will build the tools to lead the planet into the future. A completely sustainable economy, a blossoming environment, safe homes, security for your family, and a community where innovation is celebrated. The generations that come after us may forget all about us, but they will thrive because of the work we do here. Thank you for joining Skelltank in Aurora. Together, we are building tomorrow.
So as you can see, we're in quite a futuristic type of island. I don't actually know the story overall. The USSC has mysteriously sunk near the Aurora archipelago. Okay. Like I said, we're going to be playing this game very freeform. There's like a tutorial section, and then after that it's very much go anywhere, do what you want sort of game. Also, there are issues with the frame rate in this game. It does tend to deteriorate the longer you play it. Tabbing out menus, aiming down scopes, stuff like that are issues in this game. It doesn't matter what graphic settings you've got it on. We've currently got it on the max, the ultimate quality settings, but even if you turn it down, it can just tank out of nowhere. So I do apologise if that happens, and if it goes too low I will reset the game. Okay, randomise appearance. We're just going to randomise a few times. We're not going to risk going into customise, I don't think. I've not seen any I like so far. That looks alright. Yeah, we'll go with that one. We'll start with this appearance. So this is our character for the game. As you can see, things aren't so good. We're taking fire in a helicopter that's about to go down. I like that the cutscenes in this game at least aren't like 24 FPS like Call of Duty Vanguard, which we played recently here on the channel. That was very, very immersion breaking. You'll notice immediately facial animations are not this game's strong suit. Like, the graphics themselves are fine. The game actually looks really, really good when you play it. It's very detailed and stuff, but yeah, the facial animations are a bit poor. And just the general rounding of faces, you can see jaggies on people's faces up close.
No.
I believe those are drones being used to bring down a helicopter. One thing I don't really like about the presentation of this game though is that by default it uses sharpening, so things just look really off. As you can see, there are a lot of jaggies in this game. It's kind of hard not to notice actually along the side of that guy. I will briefly go into these settings as soon as we can get into gameplay and try and see if there's an anti-aliasing option that we haven't got turned on for some reason. I was playing it at 4K recently, for which I turn off anti-aliasing automatically because I don't really think it's necessary at those resolutions. Because yeah, this really does look jaggy actually. I probably should have checked this. I did reset the game back to ultimate quality settings though, rather than the very high preset I was playing it at 4K. but I guess maybe anti-aliasing's in its own bracket. I don't know, we'll find out in a moment. So yes, we're a little bit injured. At least it's not like an 8-hour title sequence like Assassin's Creed Valhalla or Cyberpunk or something like that. So yes, here we are, we've just crash landed from a helicopter in the middle of nowhere. We've got a prompt to heal an injury, but before we do that, we're going into settings, we're going into video, and we're just going to make sure, using samples from many frames displays crisp. We'll turn both of those on. That might actually massively improve the look of the game. Okay, so we are going to heal our injuries now. This uses up bandages. You can see the injury details on the character, usually just represented by pools of blood. For severe injuries, you need to use bandages. I believe on like lower difficulty settings and stuff, or tactical settings, your character will have health regeneration. We do not, so we have to use stim packs, which we don't have any at the minute to heal. So yeah, we're pretty much being gated towards going towards this marker, but we're going to go and check this building first. I was just making sure I could remember the controls for crouching and swapping shoulders, because this game has a really bad issue of changing what shoulder you are centered over. Sometimes when you go into cover and stuff, it has like an automatic snap to cover, so like I'll show it now if I go near to this wall here. Also, what is that overhead that I can hear? But if I go here, it'll just snap to cover. That flare effect is good as well. Yeah, as you can see, there's an item visible in there. I actually wish I'd turned that setting down a little bit more, because I don't want to be able to see items, I just want to be able to see like proper loot, but I guess it doesn't really matter. It's not going to be game breaking in any way, shape or form. As you can see, the anti-aliasing's cleared up a little bit as well, and that temporal injection also seems to have had some effect. I do just want to check very quickly in the loadout whether we can equip a suppressor yet, which we can. I didn't actually realise you could at this point. So this is the gunsmith. You go into loadout and press G to see it. There's a tutorial available for it, but we don't really need that. You can select different attachments. You have to unlock some of them by going to explore. You can use weapon parts and stuff to upgrade the damage your gun does. You can unlock perks to level it up further, and then you can paint it however you want really. There's various camos you unlock through, well, various classes and stuff, but we'll get into all that stuff later. For now, I just wanted a suppressor to make sure that we don't alert everyone and their dog, since we are on the hardest difficulty. And I happen to know there are enemies in this area, like there. So I'm going to get into cover here. I'm going to try and get into cover here anyway.
If they survive that crash, they definitely won't survive this shithole.
Nor are you. Also, that aim feels a little bit slow, but we can fix it further down the line if it's an issue. I'm going to say I'm not going to be reloading constantly as well in this game. Basically, I've got it set to you lose ammo upon each reload. So, like, if you've got, as we have there, 8 bullets left in the clip, those 8 bullets will be gone, just to give that extra little bit of realism. I'm also noticing frame drops already in areas. This is not good, but that's just the Ghost Recon Breakpoint experience. It's a bit of a mess technically, and I know it was worse at launch. In fact, the game was absolutely slated at launch, and I believe for the most part still isn't considered to be that great, but that doesn't really bother me. I think it's a solid enough game. Certainly the fact I put 13 hours in without really doing any of the story suggests I enjoy the gameplay loop of it. It is very similar to Ghost Recon Breakpoint, but just a little bit more responsive, a little bit less clunky, more polished. As you can see, there's a chest over there with some loot we can take. There's also a bunker over there with an enemy outside it. I'm not going to go and disturb him just yet. Maybe not at all, in fact. But yes, our mission is to follow these helicopter ruins. We're looking for any survivors. We've just found a new weapon that, if we go into loadout, we can equip. It's an assault rifle, or as Jim Jeffries would say, a protection rifle. We have a suppressor on it now. I'm trying to recall how you... Maybe we don't have skills yet. No, we don't. But yes, you can... there's various character classes I was checking to see there if you could equip yet. You can't, but...
Shit. My soldiers.
They basically increase proficiencies with various weapons, I believe, and stuff like that. And you can level them all up individually. Let's check this fella. He's having a bit of a sleep in the middle of the road. He's got some tomato ketchup on his back as well. Yes, turning on anti-aliasing would really have helped for that intro cutscene.
No way to go.
Okay, so where's the next smoke column? It's over there. I have got the mission markers set to dynamic, so it will show us where to go, but not like really in depth, and it won't tell us constantly in the corner where we need to be going. For the record as well, as I say, I do really enjoy this game. I think the gameplay loop is good fun. There are issues with it. It is a little bit, still a little bit unpolished, to be honest. Breakpoint is a lot better than Wildlands in that regard, and there is more variety and stuff. But it is still very much a Ubisoft game.
Who the hell is this?
This, oh no, this could be our first death. No, don't reload. Oh well, we only lost 3 bullets doing that. So that doesn't look like it's disturbed anybody or brought them rushing towards us. So let's loot this chest as well. What we're going to get? Some gear. As I said, gear is important in this game. Each piece of gear has a score. 7 on that, 6 on that. The rest of our gear is level 1. It contributes towards your gear score, which basically, I guess, contributes towards your overall strength and defense, and I think damage multipliers on various enemies, like in higher level areas. I could be wrong there, but if it's similar to like Division and stuff like that, then that will be the case. And I believe it is done to be very similar to the Division. After all, both were Tom Clancy sponsored Ubisoft games that put a heavy focus on like realistic tactical shooter combat, even though both games are full of absolute bullet sponge enemies at times. Although, in this case at least, a headshot is indeed a headshot and kills, whereas in the Division you could put hundreds of shots into some enemies and they'd just refuse to die. I'm wanting to play the Division again at some point soon. As I said at the start, there's not really going to be any focus for each individual episode of this series. It'll just be a case of, we'll look at the map, see if there's a target I want to go and take, see if there's a piece of gear I want to try and collect. We have just got a new vest. There is this optimised gear option here that will put your best gear into each slot, but we don't really need that. Let's climb up here and see if we can get a shot. Oh yes, there are quite a few enemies here. That's what she said. As you can see, headshots are one-shot kills, as they should be in any game going for like realistic tactical combat. But then the damage multipliers for enemies shooting you is massively ramped up to compensate for that, and body shots aren't especially efficient in this game. Like, the enemies are very spongy. We are summoning the devil. No, you are not. I can hear somebody over there. I can see them over there. They're there. I don't want those markers on screen though when I aim. How do I... Give me a moment, folks. Oh yes, here's the specialisms you can go for. So there's assault, field medic. Each one has its own technique and item and proficiencies. Panther, which is stealth based. I think we're going to go for that, but we're just going to have a look. Sharpshooters are good with sniper rifles. Pathfinders are, well, I guess good at finding things. Engineers, damage to drones. Echelon, stealth in shadows, very Splinter Cell-y, hence why it's named after it. We are going to go with Panther though. Oh, you can acquire each of these with a skill point as well. I didn't actually realise that. But we're going to go Panther, and then we're going to put our other skill points into things here. So, night vision is going to be important. Parachute's going to be important. There's certain boards you can parachute off. And then I think we will go with we're not going to be using handguns much. I don't think we will anyway. Thermal vision, no. Not yet anyway. I think we're going to go with the rocket launcher, which could be useful in taking out stuff like helicopters. I do just want to find out how you customise your... Oh, this is the PvP stuff. I've not actually looked into this much yet. This is Ghost War. I'm just trying to find how you alter... How do you do it then? Your experience again. I don't know if you can do it yet or not actually. Oh yeah, you can, it's here. So, Ghost experience parameters. Wrong one. I just want to turn off enemy markers. Off. That looks alright. That should now have turned off the marker, which it has. Sorry folks, I'm just getting used to this game again. I haven't played it for a few days, and there's certain things like that you do just generally forget to turn off. I'm not the best at explaining things, and I'm still a little bit rough from a cold at the moment, so bear with me.
There's gotta be somebody.
Okay then, let's see what we get here. Oh, we get a cutscene, let's have a listen then.
Stormcloud 1-1, this is Weaver, come in, over! This is Weaver, come in, over!
Anything?
Ugats. Contact, contact! Check fire!
So yes, the survivors have been picked off,
Walker.
Shall we, Weaver?
and it looks like Walker's a traitor. I don't actually know the story of this game, I don't know any of the characters or anything. So, yeah. I believe I'll probably call the end of this episode when we finish this little tutorial
What
mission.
the hell are you doing?
Okay, so we don't want to be going over there. This is our target in this direction. I went with Panther just because I think stealth's going to be very important in this game, especially on the hardest setting. We are getting frame drops already, this is ridiculous. This game's a horrendously optimised title. I know PC gamers are very quick to say, oh, this game's badly optimised, but no, Breakpoint really is. It's technically a bit of a shit show.
I just smoked the ghost, first kill of the day.
And now I'm gonna smoke
I don't
you.
know what everyone's worried about. You just
Easy. So usually with a sniper, not a sniper rifle, a silenced weapon, you would get a damage penalty. But because we are a Panther, we don't get that penalty. Oh dear. This could be the first death, folks. So we're gonna run, which is always a good idea when you're being shot at in this game. Oh no, we are gonna die here. I don't know how many of these guys there are, but there's definitely more than there is of me. Let's just back up a bit. And then go to ground. And do we have the option for the prone camo? No. But the screen's gone a bit darker, so I assumed we were in stealth there. Ah, we do now. Why is that? Okay, I apologise folks, I am actually going to just set this to minimal and then just adjust that we want loot markers on screen. because I don't like having it tell me that I've gone back in stealth. Oh, we do have well, I'm going to use that syringe because that extra bit of health could be useful.
Let us finish up the other half.
Okay, so there's an enemy there. There's one there as well. And one there.
We're gonna bury you on this island.
Oh no, we're gonna die. This is first death of the game, folks. Yep. Thankfully it checkpoints you right nearby. I did die at this point on my first initial little test playthrough. That was stupid of me. Usually it's best to finish off the guy you're aiming at, say like, because they're immediately aware of where you are basically. So when I went to ground before we got the alert, I just shot at somebody so he knew the rough location I was in. This game is really unforgiving with mistakes. It doesn't matter though. We're almost at the end of this section now. And then we've got a great big open world to explore. I do want to raise awareness to the very, very impressive screen space reflections in this game. Usually they look horrible in my opinion, but in this they really went all in with making the game world look very, very believable, from the textures to everything. And the reflections are one of the things that stands out the most to me. Do not see me. Let's just deal with those. And we got a rank up there and a skill point. We'll use those in a moment. I just want to see what this fella dropped. Just some credits which you use to spend at the shop. There's a guy there. There's one there as well.
Who are these guys?
As you can see, it's not too hard to just stealthily pick everybody off. It's just when you get seen having like, well, a metric fuck ton of people coming after you at once can be a pain in the arse. We did just get a gear upgrade as well. In fact, I think we've got a couple. So yes, our gear scores up to 5. We also got an upgrade on the Panther skill. Don't actually know what each upgrade does. Oh, it just gives you like additional stealth, weapon paint, an emblem. Okay, so leveling up each of your classes is worth doing. We're going to acquire this. It's an extra perk slot. We haven't actually got any perks yet, but I think it's a good idea to have 2 perk slots ready. We're also going to go the other side of that tree, which gives you access to upgrading your weapons, like to Mark 2 and Mark 3. As you can see, there's enemies over there. We got a weapon there. I don't really know where it is. Oh, it's a DMR, which is like a baby sniper rifle, basically. Let's go and see what this radio is saying then. And we have another cutscene to watch.
Mayday, Mayday. This is Ghost Lead. Does anyone read?
5 Ghost Lead.
Who is this?
A friend. I got the radio from a ghost.
This ghost still breathing?
Ghost Lead, you can chase the White Rabbit.
Or run with the Red Queen? Give me a sit rep.
I can wait. Your man's getting medical treatment. Follow the trail behind the ancient ruins. Your destination is in the mountains between 2 waterfalls.
Understood. Ghost Lead out.
Okay, so that's one of the good things about playing this way, with like minimal advice on what to do and stuff. We've got to go to our base, which is the Era 1. We only have a basic idea of where to go. It's past the ancient pass between 2 waterfalls. I don't actually know if it's going to mark that point on the map for us, but usually when you have a quest it'll give you like rough ideas of where to go, and then it's up to you where you actually do go. But I think we're going to go and explore somewhere different before the end of this video. I think we're actually going to go up here. You can lay a beacon on the map like that, and then you're free to just go off towards it. We're now completely free to do whatever we want. This game's fully open world. It's very level gated, so like different bases and stuff will have different gear score requirements. You don't have to adhere to them with headshots and being very stealthy. You can still work your way through them, but it does take a while because it can be hard, and Jesus Christ, the fog in this game's good. It's very, very atmospheric. I am keeping my eye out for any plants and stuff to grab and wildlife to shoot, because you do need those items for various crafting items. Like right now we don't have any bandages, I believe. No, none whatsoever. So we could be doing with some plants to craft those. There's no button to pick them up though, you just walk over the plants, which I personally think's a little bit dumb, but whatever, it's not a big thing. You also want to be careful when you're near roads, because various enemy transports can just drive past. Usually what I tend to do is go into the grass and hit the dirt and use the prone camo that I showed off, which is like a really clever little stealthy mechanic. I can hear an enemy nearby. Let's sprint across this bridge just to make sure that we're over it, in case anybody comes driving past. Now then. You're going nowhere, sir. And nor are you. And as you can see, there is a very slight stutter when you come out of aiming down sights. I've noticed it every single time I've turned this game on. It's very, very distracting, but whatever. Now, this may get a little dull for some people, just walking through or running through this woodland, but in this game I think it's wise to stay on foot as much as you can and off the beaten track, because you can very quickly get rushed by a lot of enemies if you get seen by like a truck full of enemies or something, and there's regular guard points where there's like 2 or 3 enemies stood next to a bike or whatever. The textures in this game are really detailed, as you can see. In fact, I think they're some of the most impressive I've seen, like up there with stuff like Death Stranding. Maybe not Cyberpunk level, but not far off. In fact, overall, just this game's visual presentation is very, very good, except for those facial animations that I mentioned before, and little things like that. We're going to reload, despite what I said about not reloading when your clip's half empty, because we've got enough ammo to cover that, and there is a perk you can get that offsets some of that. I can see some plants up ahead as well that we're going to pick up. Cool. And there's some more resources, and quite why I just wasted 19 bullets, I don't know. I can hear a radio in the distance, which means there's definitely some enemies just over the crest of this hill, I'd imagine. Oh no, they'll be in the checkpoint there, which is what I marked on the map. I didn't know it was a checkpoint, but I had a fair idea it'd have some form of unique loot in it, so when I pick those mushrooms up over there, we're going to go and investigate. We'll probably pick off the people in that guard tower there with the DMR, and then get to work. So we picked a pineapple up there. I don't actually know what that's used for, but I do know we're going to switch over to the SVD-63. Maybe getting stealth on this embankment here. Okay, so how many are there? 1, 2, and then I heard somebody down there. So a good thing to do is just to have a look on the map to see what unique loot's in here. So there's, by the looks of it, an LMG in here, which is in a chest somewhere. We're going to pick that up. I can actually see the chest there. Let's hold our breath but hold in space. Okay, that's you dead. Now, he looks like a heavy to me, which means he's going to take 2 shots to kill. One to take his helmet off, and one to kill him. Are there any more? Oh, there's a vehicle coming. Thankfully it's turned off in the other direction. So we're going to sneak on down here. Oh no. So somebody's just called the alert in case you didn't hear. There's a indicator there for a item that will tell us the location of another item.
Not good. I'm gonna look around.
I expect there's somebody in here. I can hear someone, I believe they're to the left. There's somebody there though. Yeah, he's there. That might be all of them or it might not. I'm going to go and get the chest now regardless. That's what I was saying as well about the camera recentering over different shoulders constantly. Now, was that an LMG? Was I right? Yes, it was. So we're going to dismantle it with X for some components. It was a higher gear score than what we had, but I won't be using it. I don't really use LMGs on this game, or I've not tried to use them yet anyway. And I believe that's the last item from this location. So when we've explored a little more, I'll be calling it an episode, folks. This won't be like a really consistent upload series, it's just as and when I decide to play the game, I'll sit and record it for a bit. And we'll see what happens. I enjoy the game enough to play it quite regularly, I think, but maybe not. So we're going to go and get that item as well. I did forget about that until I saw it. Please don't injure me. Of course you fucking injured me. So this is very much like Ghost Recon Wildlands. You find various pieces of intel. You can usually select from a couple of options. We're going to go for maybe the weapon location. BVUACs are basically like campsites, but we've turned off most of the functions from them. So we're going to have the weapon location. And where is that? I don't know, to be honest. But either way, folks, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.